Hi ladies, and welcome back to Chengi's World. I am trying to, let's see if we can get this light right because it's looking a bit dark in here. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see. Okay, I think we'll leave that alone. You're just gonna have to bear with me. Let's move some lights around. Right, sorry about that. Okay. So welcome to Chengi's World, ladies, and well, I know a few gents are there, but I'm recording this video for you guys because I didn't get a chance to record yesterday. I recorded this video yesterday, but the whole thing just disappeared, so I couldn't find it, and I just did not want to not do a recording for Monday. So it's Men Talk Monday. So we're talking about men, we're talking about things that we need to learn and grow. I am Chengi and you're my world. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. And the title of today's live, I guess, is the lies that men tell themselves. And this is really something that I've been dying to talk about, and let's see if we can get through it. If you have any questions at the end, make sure you ask me. If not, well, just let me know. So I'll try and do a lot more live videos. We'll find a time that works for everybody so that you can be informed, but I'm gonna get going so that you can, when the replay goes up, you know, you're not sort of waiting for 10 minutes before I actually get started. So the lies that men tell themselves. Okay, so I wanted first and foremost to sort of make it clear to us that this title, the lies that men tell themselves, is really particularly to do with the fact that as human beings, we tell ourselves lies. Okay, and the worst kinds of lies are not the lies we tell other people, they're the lies that we tell ourselves. The reason being is when we deceive ourselves, it's easier to deceive other people. So the Bible talks about how we are, the people that deceive themselves, and therefore they propagate deception. The person who is most dangerous when they lie to you is the person who believes their own lies. If I don't believe my lie, then you're more likely to catch me, because energetically and as we resonate with other people, they can feel that energy that, you know what, there's something about this person and what they're saying to me, the energy is saying that it's not congruent. So when we believe the lie that we are telling, when the lie that we're telling other people, then it's easier to sell it. So the reason why some of the lies that men tell us are so easy to believe is because they genuinely believe it themselves. And here's the reason for it. I was sort of talking to my sister the other day, and she said, Chengi, they're the lions, men are the lions, and we're the deers. And I thought that was such an amazing analogy. And I want to take that analogy and kind of help us understand where I'm coming from. So basically, a lion cannot preoccupy itself with the life of a deer. It can't be thinking to itself, oh, that deer has got children, and if I eat it, and if I chase it and hunt it down, I'm going to deprive, the deer of his children, and I'm going to deprive it of life, and so I better not think about that. A lion has to be focused on its need to eat. It doesn't hunt for fun necessarily. Lions don't hunt for fun. They hunt to eat. Animals don't hunt each other just to have a good time, to wound and injure each other. They hunt to eat because the necessity and the desire to feed that appetite is such that they will pursue. And a lion cannot be telling itself the reality of its prey. It has to be discussing about the reality of itself. And so I liken that even to us as human beings. If we were to take the time to really think about what we're doing to the poor animals that we're eating. I'm not vegan, and I am not, this video is not pro-veganism or anti-it, but if we were to really consider the pain and the hardship and the suffering that the animal that is on our plate has had to go through, chances are we will all just turn vegan. But we are being led by our desire to eat meat. We're being led by the desire to feel that bit in our belly. And if a vegan was to think about the journey of a plant, and the cutting off its spirit and all these things that may or may not be true of plant life, then nobody would eat. Literally nobody would eat. So when men are telling us certain things, they have to be able to zip up their pants after having gotten from you what they want and still be able to live with themselves, because they were not built as animals. They were built as actual human beings. They actually have a conscience like you and I do. They have feelings. They have, you know, the guilt. So in order for them to manage their guilt, they have to come into the arena with a paradigm, with a mindset that allows them to take advantage of you or take advantage of women. I kind of call it the Robin Hood sort of a mindset, which is the rich are not concerned for the poor, so we will steal from the rich and give to the poor, and that's our rationale. But the truth of the matter is, you don't know how the rich got rich. You don't know the sacrifices they had to make. You don't know how many late nights they had to put in. You don't know how they managed to secure that wealth. And I think there was a television program as well of, you know, sort of people who sort of steal from other people, and, you know, they had to qualify whether this person was greedy and worthy of them robbing that person. And the reality is, because when we do things that are immoral and difficult to do in order to satisfy an appetite or a need that we believe we have, a desire that we have to therefore come to the table with a rationale. And it is that rationale that makes us very, very dangerous. And if you are prey, as you are a deer, you have to understand the motivator of the lion. You have to understand the motivation of the hunter, and so that you can run when you need to run and be alert in the way that you need to be alert. And as women, we are the ones that are chased, right? If we're high value, then we're the ones that are hunted down. We're the ones that are chased, and you need to be aware that when the hunter is coming, there are priorities in his head that are not your priorities. He is coming to satisfy a need. He is coming to eat. He is hunting you down like the deer. He wants to eat, right? He wants to fulfill a need, whether it's loneliness, whether it's whatever it may be. He's coming to satisfy that need on the inside of him, which means that you have to be vigilant, and you have to be aware and realize that this person, no matter how sweet and charming and lovely and great they are, they have an agenda. Not all men have that agenda. Not all men are coming into your life to eat you. Not all men are pursuing you for you know, just to have sex with you or to take advantage of you. But for the majority of men out there, that is really what they're after. So how do they live with themselves after they have done this? How do they even engage you, knowing that full and well that they have no desire to and they have no plan for you? How do they do that? And they do that by telling themselves a certain set of lies. So I'm going to share with you some of these mistruths or these paradigms so that you're kind of aware. So number one, she does this with every guy. One of the things that happens with men is, you could have made an exception for this guy and maybe moved really fast with him, or allowed him to do certain things, or to sleep with you, or whatever the case may be. But what will happen with him is that he will tell himself, actually, she does this with every guy, because it's easier for me to take advantage of somebody that is loose or has loose morals than it is for me to take advantage of a good girl who's made an exception for me in this instance. So that is why I always say to women, don't give it time, because no matter how much you've connected, no matter how sincere you are, he will ultimately tell himself that you do this with every guy. If you sleep with him on the first date, he will tell himself she sleeps with guys on the first date every time. And then that will take away his moral obligation towards you. That will take away his moral obligation to be sensitive to the fact that you could be hurting, that this could be the first time you've done it, or you don't do it regularly, or that you just went with the spur of the moment. He's not going to rationalize that. He's just going to assume, if she did it with me, she's done it before, so she'll just do it with some other guy, and then he's going to keep it moving. So men are going to be hunting down that kind of girl, or looking for that kind of energy that would allow that to be the case, you know, because he's trying to eat, he's trying to find, you know, if he comes across you and you are, you know, virtuous, high morality, and all of those things, and you're kind of going to make sure he can tell that you're high value, you're not just going to jump into bed with him, chances are he's going to ghost you anyway or not pursue it very far if he's come to play. So he's going to be looking for that energy. So sometimes I have so many clients who are like, but we connected so well, we spoke, and he said this to me, and he said that to me, and he said he was looking for the mother of his children, and he said this to me, but in reality he's just getting you to sort of lower your guard so that he can have that opportunity to get what it is that he wants. And he will justify it by saying she does that with every guy. Don't even get it twisted. When he's had his way with you, he's going to go home, take a shower, and move on with his life and tell himself in his head, she does that with every guy. Okay. The other one is when a guy comes to you and he's again taken advantage or wants to take advantage, he sometimes looks for a woman that's very, very special. Sometimes women are like, what's going on, he is going to look for a woman that is very special, that is very beautiful, very intelligent, very special. Why? If a man's come to play and he chooses you because you were very special, because these are the things that really happen. Sometimes we think that, only when you're high value, men don't come and play. No, men do attempt to play with high value women. Why? Because the lie they tell themselves in their heads is, if I play with her and leave, some worthy and more deserving guy would sweep her off her feet, like take her way off the market like this. So I'm just gonna, like my Jamaican friend says, tea for peace, take a little bit, have a little bit of fun, and then I'm gonna run. I remember a guy friend of mine said to me, Chengi, you're the sort of girl that a guy will sort of date, spend all his savings on, give you an amazing time, and then when he gets what he wants, he runs off, because the truth is he cannot sustain. And the reason he can do that, the reason he can pull those stunts and go through all of that, is because in his mind and in his head, she will just move on and find somebody else. She's just this special. She's a very special woman. She'll just move on. Like, what's the big deal? She'll move on. And she won't even remember me. So that's some of the lies that they tell themselves. They don't realize that as amazing and as gorgeous, as beautiful as you are, you are still going to hurt. You're still going to invest yourself emotionally. You're still going to feel some kind of way, about his behavior, but he's gone off, told himself that lie and gone off. The other one is we both enjoyed it. That's another big one. A guy can know that you're not ready, that he's pushing the sex on you, is you're not ready for it, maybe you've told him that you're not ready, and he will tell himself at the end of that day when he's done and he's had his, and especially guys who are really great in bed, if they give you a good time, if they really give you a good time and you enjoyed it and they could tell that you enjoyed it and that you'll be coming back for more, that's what he tells himself. He tells himself he has fulfilled his obligation to you. Men know full and well. I was talking to a guy friend of mine, and I was saying to him, this is what happens biologically to a woman. Even if you give her a good time, she becomes bonded to you. So she now has to recover. She now has to recover from the feeling that that this thing has happened. She has to recover from that feeling that I've just I've attached myself to this man. And I explained to him the hormones and the oxytocin, and he said, Chengi, I don't think I could ever do it again. Now you've given me a conscience about it. I just like to believe that we had fun together. Like, I've paid my dues, you had fun, I had fun, I don't owe you anything. And what men don't, what they know in their hearts but tell themselves is, we both had fun, what's the big deal? You had fun, I had fun, deal done, right? And so you have to be aware that if you jump into bed with some guy and he gives you a good time, you're thinking, okay, now maybe this is the beginning of something. Most of the time it's the ending of something. So really just sort of be conscious of it, that lie that says we both enjoyed it. Okay, another lie is when a man pulls away. He tells himself, if he feels that he's come into your life and you're too good for him, you're out of his league, and he wasn't ready, or whatever the story is, what a man will do is he doesn't want to face up to the reality that he may have been a failure. He doesn't want to face up to the reality that actually I may have failed at this relationship. I may have completely got it wrong in this relationship. So what he will do is he will pull away. And he will tell himself in his head, when my pull away is so that I can make a comeback. I'm pulling away so that I can come back at some point. He doesn't want to say, look, I failed. I'm not good enough. I failed to be the man that I needed to be for a woman like this. So what I'm going to do is pull away and come back. So he's telling himself in his head, I'll come back when I get my life together, make more money, get it together. I'm tired of, sowing my wild oats. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. That's the lie they tell themselves. And in reality, chances are they're never going to come back, because once they leave that, or if they do come back, you would have moved way on, right? But men do tell themselves these sort of lies. Actually, on a large scale, a lot of the things that I'm sharing with you today, a lot of guys tell themselves these things standardly to manage their emotions, to manage you, to get from you what you want. So he will think to himself, right, I'll come back one day. So that's why they ghost you and don't actually tell you, you know what, I don't think I can take this any further. If a guy wants to be abusive to you, and this is not in general, but those guys that are abusive, what they tell themselves, especially when you tell them about your past, which is why I always say to my clients, don't tell men about your torrid past until way into the relationship. Don't tell them that you have been hurt before, that he cheated on you, that he beat you, that he did any of these things, simply because if you tell a man that these are the things that that have happened to you in the past, it will justify him doing it in his head. If another man did it before me, it means this is a territory I can step into. If another man did it before me and hung around and was able to be around, then this is something that I can step into. I can do this and get away with this. So when you tell a guy, your past early on in a relationship, you almost give him a license to repeat what the other guy did, which is why you find women that have been in abused relationships tend to roll into more abusive situations, because what they do is say to that guy, this is the parameter, this is as far as the last guy went, so you can go this far as well. Whereas if he doesn't know what the other guy got away with, he will just assume that what you are not letting him get away with it is what every other guy has had to face, which gives you value in his eyes. In his eyes, you become higher value, because in his mind, you've tested all these guys before me and you're testing me to the same level. But the moment you reveal to him that, actually the other guy just abused me, took advantage of me, took my money, did this, then he's thinking, why do I have to pay the price? Why do I have to be high value? Okay. So, all of those things really, sort of are part of the things that he tells himself. It's okay because the guy before did it. That's why I would say to ladies, do not kind of get yourself involved in that. And the final thing that men tell themselves is, I will stop when I want to. And that is in regards to maybe things like addiction or abusive behavior, or they tell themselves, look, I can stop if I want to. I don't have to kind of just stop now. So if he's got an addiction or something, he will say, you know what, I do drugs or I drink occasionally, but I can always stop whenever I want to. The reality of it is, if you've got an addiction and you do it every day and it's habitual, you can't stop when you want to. But that's what he tells himself so that he can convince himself, so that he can convince you, right? So that kind of lie that they tell themselves, that I can stop whenever I want to. I can always stop doing this whenever I want to, is really a lie he's telling himself. If he is not going for help, if he's not going to AA and getting professional help, he genuinely cannot stop and will not stop. So I hope this sort of helps sort of get us to understand why some lies are so easy to believe. I always get like clients saying, how did I not see that? How did I not see that coming? How did that blindside me? How did that, that was so left field, I didn't see coming. The reason for it is because it is genuinely what he believes. It is the lie that he has told himself. He is telling you from a place of congruency. He is congruent. It is not a lie for him. It is his truth. It's his operating system. He's speaking to you from his place of truth to him. He has had to convince himself this is this is my truth, and I'm operating from this place. And so that's why they're congruent. That's why they can take from you and walk away and feel as if nothing happened. They can sleep with you and keep on moving and not feel any kind of way. And you're there thinking, how do you how do you sleep at night? How do you do this and sleep at night? Simple, because they're coming from a paradigm. They're coming from a place and a space. So there are a lot of things that it's not exclusive to men alone. We're all liable to that. We're all liable to we're all liable to wanting something. It's the same thing as a gold digger, a woman who dates men for money. She has a rationale behind it. She has an entitlement behind it. She has a belief system behind it. So the reason she can get away with taking a man's money or using him for his money is because there's a rationale behind it. There's a mindset behind it. There's a belief behind it. There's something that she's told herself that is genuine. I was talking to my sister and she was saying, we're just talking about, the fact that she was saying, she doesn't ever meet men who just give her money, who just give her money to go and spend it. And they would rather buy her a gift, or they would rather, if whatever she wants, they would rather get that for her than to actually give her money. And we're exploring the reasons why that is the case. And, when I sort of got off the phone, I realized that actually, yes, the reasons that we were exploring were right. But in reality, she hasn't got that belief system. Her belief system doesn't lend itself to being entitled to a man giving her money. So it doesn't come out from that place of inner truth. It's not coming from that kind of sense of entitlement for her. She was raised to be independent, to make her own money, to be her own person. So it doesn't resonate true. She doesn't sell it well. No matter what tricks she's got, she doesn't sell it well. So everything for the other person to truly be deceived and to truly buy into something that is a false truth, they have to first and foremost believe it themselves. So be very careful when you're out there, girls, out here on these here streets. Be really careful that you are aware and conscious and conscientious of the idea and the thought that if this is so believable, take your time to vet, and above all to verify. This is really important. Ability to verify what somebody's saying. Don't ever give yourself over to somebody, invest yourself in somebody when really you haven't truly verified the facts with them. So this is it. This is all I have for you. I invite you to join me on Instagram and Facebook as usual at Chengi's World. And of course, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you know what to do. You can email me. I'll put all the bits in the description box when this video goes on replay. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, we will try and find a time when, I'll try and find the right time to do lives, but I really want to be able to do more lives because I would like for us to be able to interact some more. I can take some questions now if you have any. If not, you can always leave them in the comment section and I will always come back because, I hang around the comment sections a lot. I love comments, so make sure you leave a comment or a lie that you think that, men tell themselves that I haven't picked up on because you guys are very, very clever and very observant. So I'm sure you can leave me and other people the sort of lies that you believe that men come up with. I'm so sorry about the light. There's something wrong with my light today, or maybe just the camera. I have no idea, but it's a bit dark. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Love you lots. Take care of you. Bye bye now. Mwah.